we're going to do something fun. Each of us are going to get assigned a random driver by Matthew, who has the Wheel of Destiny. And we're going to give a 60-second opinion on said driver. You better start a stopwatch because at 60 seconds, I am going to stop you because, we don't have all night to do this, guys.
I actually have a timer. I have a timer.
So
Perfect. So yeah, I have every single full-time driver plus Corey LaJoy on this wheel. I can take him off if you guys
Nope.
want.
You got
that's
to
perfect.
leave Corey.
Also, the center of the wheel is the picture, if you know what I'm talking about. It's the 2004 Daytona 500 picture that always comes up.
No! Oh my God!
The picture.
Even here, you can't escape it.
Oh, no!
Put it in the thumbnail.
No!
I don't know if anybody's noticed, but I changed the banner on my YouTube channel to that picture. So,
Oh my
anyway,
God!
who's going first?
Oh God! Who
I'll
is
go
going
first.
first?
Okay, Joe.
I'll start you. I'll start the timer after you get the driver. I'll say on you. Okay, and the timer starts now, and then you'll go. Okay.
Okay. I'm spinning the wheel now. It's going. Joe, your driver that you have to talk about now is Tyler Reddick.
Okay. Joe, you ready?
Yeah.
Timer starts now.
Tyler Reddick was a Final Four driver last year. Going to be hard to replicate the success that the 45 team had, especially with all of the looming controversy around the 2311 lawsuit against NASCAR. One thing Reddick has going for him is he returns Billy Scott as his crew chief, who has done a phenomenal job of kind of being the flag bearer over at 2311 for their engineering. Reddick's going to be at least in the Elite Eight of the playoffs, I think. Probably going to score a couple wins in the regular season, get a win in the playoffs, kind of advance himself around. But again, going to be very hard to get to that final 8, especially with Talladega in that round of 8. Martinsville also in there, 2 tracks that Reddick hasn't done great at. I know he had the Talladega win last year, but he kind of lucked into that one. But yeah, Tyler Reddick, probably round of 8 driver, a couple wins. He'll have a good year, but not as good as last.
Wow, perfect. In 56 seconds. That was awesome.
You were literally like a pixel away from having to talk about Ricky Stenhouse.
Oh my God, that would have been awful.
I posted a screenshot of it in the JTN Creators channel. That's how close you were.
Okay.
That's why I hesitated, because I was like, it's going to be Oh, it's not going to be Reddick. Oh, no. All right. I'm assuming Davey's next.
Sure.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, I'm spinning the wheel. Davey, you must now talk about...
Is it Ricky Stenhouse?
Austin Dillon.
Oh my God. Okay. Austin Dillon. Timer starts now. Austin Dillon. Let's look at some positives. He had race-winning speed at Richmond. There was some controversy that wasn't just to do with the fact that he wrecked 2 cars to end up winning that race. There was some setup note controversy. But the fact remains that those cars did have speed. Him and Kyle Busch both were quick at various points in the year. Just, in general, I think it was a down year for the RCR camp. Austin Dillon, he's not quite the driver Kyle Busch is. He's not going to be able to make up for the gaps in equipment. So they're really RCR is really going to need to capitalize on finding speed where they can in the cars, because they just did not have it at all last year. If your flagship driver is Kyle Busch, who in my opinion is one of the most talented drivers in the Cup Series, you need your secondary driver is not going to get more out of it than him, and Austin Dillon has not proven that to me. I think we are looking closer and closer to an Austin Dillon that's going to see a leadership role at RCR, because he's not been up to snuff in Cup yet. 1 minute and 2 seconds. Sorry, fellas.
Failure.
All right.
There's just a lot of context with Austin Dillon, because I feel like he comes off better than he is when you don't compare him to Kyle Busch, but then you compare him to his teammates and
you're like, ooh.
Okay.
Yeah. So, all right. Now I'm spinning for me. My driver is... Oh, perfect. Oh, wait. No! It was going to be Kyle Larson instead. I got Keselowski. Okay.
Okay.
Damn it.
Matt, you ready?
Yep.
Timer starts now.
All right, Brad Keselowski. Big improvement last year. I think Brad is starting to get into the twilight of his career, but a much improved season in 2024 compared to when he first took over ownership at RFK. I don't know if a title run is still in him. Like you were saying about Austin Dillon, I think we might see Brad start to move more into an administrative role, but it's clear he still has that competitive fire. But it does kind of seem that he's almost more invested in the success of Chris Buescher and now Ryan Preece coming in. I would expect Brad to at least win this year, maybe get a second one. You know, he's been really good on the plate tracks. He's been very close. Oh my God, I just completely brain farted from there.
5 seconds.
Yeah.
Closing statement.
Expecting him to at least make the playoffs. So
Perfect. 1 minute on the dot.
let's do it. All right. Joe, your next driver is... Oh, you barely missed Ricky Stenhouse again. It is Alex Bowman.
All right.
All right. Joe, you ready?
Yep.
Timer starts now.
Bowman's in a year that it feels like, as has every year for the last 3 years, been a prove-it year, especially with Hendrick signing Justin Haley to a development deal. You know, Carson Hocevar is also in the Chevrolet pipeline. And, oh, yeah, for some reason, Michael McDowell's at Spire. Bowman's got really good support from his sponsor, Ally, has a really good crew that believes in him, and I think that's more important for a driver who has openly talked about his struggles with believing in himself and his ability. They'll be fast in Daytona. They'll be fast to start the year. It's just going to be about making sure that they execute on the speed that they have, because last year that was the thing that really held them back in some of these moments throughout the season. They are consistently one of the faster cars in the grid. It's just they are plagued by the fact that Bowman is the fourth Hendrick guy in a lot of people's eyes. Bowman probably makes the playoffs, probably wins a race somewhere down the road. It'll come out of nowhere, though. We won't expect it. But yeah, playoff driver Alex Bowman.
59 seconds. Joe, you are a pro. That's the best one yet. Oh, man.
I might have
That
to pull
internal
that
engineer clock.
All right, Davey, your next driver is... Oh, baby, it's Ricky Stenhouse.
Why am I getting all the shit ones, dude? What in the world? All right. Timer starts now. Ricky Stenhouse. Honestly, could have had a worse year. Not by much, but could have had a worse year. That team has rebranded, has new leadership. I don't know how much of the core of the team is different. I don't think much of it is. But really, all I have to say is, like, when I heard that they re-signed Ricky Stenhouse Jr., I echo Noah Joyce when he said on purpose, and Ricky Stenhouse just has to he doesn't have it. He doesn't have it. He's not a Cup driver. He's got great partners. He's a solid enough driver to where teams feel like they can rely on him, but his lack of consistency, his ability to wreck everything, just doesn't do it for me. And even his proficiency on the super speedway tracks is not enough to tip over the scale of Ricky Stenhouse Jr. from a driver that is a liability to a driver that performs. 1 minute, 1 second. I'm horrible at this.
I just don't understand what he brings to the table at this point.
And they lost their sponsorship, right? They lost Kroger.
That's right.
So think about that. RFK got Kroger, and that's why they were able to expand to a third car with Ryan Preece.
That's right. I forgot about
Hayek
that.
Motorsports lost their major partner, and they have Sunny D, I guess. No,
there's something really ironic about Roush firing Ricky Stenhouse and then hiring Chris Buescher and then being like, oh, also, we're going to take your sponsor, too, in a few years.
And the other, JTG team for the what,
JTG just became the Roush farm team, and
except for Stenhouse.
Yeah. Well, because they sent Stenhouse there is the problem.
That's fair. Yeah, sent him to the farm leagues.
Because you got to remember, Chris Buescher was only at JTG because Roush loaned him to JTG.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
The other thing, it's going to be interesting to see what happens with that team and that charter if they can't find sponsorship. Like Davey said, Stenhouse has really good partners that see something in him. So But he did.
Yeah.
He did
All
win
right,
a race
they
last
must.
year.
Yeah. He's one of very few drivers who's won races both of the last 2 seasons.
That's right.
That's, I guess, fair.
That's something that he has going for him.
All right, my next one is Noah Gragson. Okay, I can talk about this one.
All right. And timer's on.
All right, Noah Gragson. Last year, I think he was one of the pleasant surprises, especially of the beginning of the season. I think this move can be pretty good. When I look at front row's lineup, they have 3 young drivers that I think all 3 of them are future stars. And I think Noah Gragson can be a good face of an up-and-coming team. Like, regardless of what you think about Noah Gragson and dumb things he's said or done in the past, like, Noah is a charismatic, popular, likable guy. And he can drive the hell out of a race car. And he brings big sponsors. I don't know if we're talking first win yet, because it depends on, is front row on the same level as Stewart Haas? Are they above? Are they below? I don't know where that measuring stick is. Stewart Haas was kind of impossible to judge over the last couple of years. But I would expect him to be at least a playoff contender.
1 minute on the dot. Good job.
Perfect. All right.
All right,
Last
Joe,
one.
your final driver. It's gonna be something dumb. All right, it's one of the main characters of the Fake Racers podcast the last few years.
Oh.
You have Riley Herbst.
Oh my god.
All right, Joe, you ready?
Yep.
Timer starts now.
Riley Herbst is a driver that I think most people are like, why is he in the Cup Series? What has he done to belong in the Cup Series? The one thing Riley Herbst has done to belong in the Cup Series is have funding and have support and always gets better. He's gotten better every year in the Xfinity Series, it feels like, even though if it took him a while to get good. I feel like last year he did take a step forward despite maybe the wins and the accolades not being there for the 98 team in a year that obviously SHR was going through things. But for Riley, this year is just going to be about don't be the worst guy in the Cup Series, don't wreck the race car, and don't prove all the haters correct. I think more than anything, he'll be able to compete on the super speedways. We saw that when he was in the front row car in the Rick Ware car the last few years at Daytona, Talladega, and Atlanta. Is he a playoff guy? Probably not. But can he be Rookie of the Year? Maybe so. We'll see. Riley Herbst, 2311.
59 seconds. Man.
Perfect. Yeah, I'm gonna have to deal with the fact that I'm starting to like Riley Herbst one of these days.
I
I
just
feel about it.
It's not even that. It's just like he's kind of in that same boat as like Chase Elliott, where it's just kind of like I don't think he's very nice to his crew. Like you listen to
Yeah.
him on the radio, he's like a jerk. Now a lot of race car drivers are jerks to their crews, but
Yeah. Looking at you,
But,
Ryan Blaney.
I'm gonna ask to hurry. I gotta take care of something here.
Okay.
We're about to blow a gasket.
All right, I'm spinning your
We're
wheel.
blowing up. Gotta take it to the garage.
Perfect. Oh, never mind. Okay, it's Chris Buescher. You were that
Who did I
close to getting
almost
AJ
have?
Allmendinger. Almost got
Oh.
AJ. All right,
Chris Buescher?
Chris Buescher. Yep.
I would say last season was a bit of a disappointment for Chris Buescher, who did not get to win a race to get himself into the playoffs. He came agonizingly close. If there was one thing that I was going to say about Chris Buescher heading into last season, it's that he was going to do a bit better, and he didn't necessarily. I think the speed was still there, but he didn't have that incisive execution that we talked about Alex Bowman needing. Chris Buescher was another one who suffered from that last year. And I think this is the season where he does kind of finally kick on. Maybe we saw it last season, even though it wasn't his second year in the Cup Series. Saw it a little bit as a sophomore slump. Second season as a winner in the Cup Series. At least a multi-time winner. And Chris Buescher's going to be in the playoff picture. I think he does win a race on time this time. I think he continues to battle for wins. He was oh so close multiple times, and that team has proven that it has speed. So Chris Buescher, he's going to be at least in the final 12. 1 minute, 1 second. Mother trucker, dude. Also, I'm good. We're not blowing up anymore. We're fine.
All right. And then my final one for the final exercise of the day. Once again, barely missing Kyle Larson. It's Justin Haley. All right.
All right, you ready?
Yep.
Timer's on.
I'm not as high on Justin Haley as other people are, but he has definitely put in some very, like last year especially, put in some very impressive drives. Within the, was it the 51 that he was in or the 15? Can't remember. It doesn't matter. But yeah, the stint in the 7 car at the end of the year did not go well. But now he's got a foot in the door, like you mentioned, with the Hendrick program. This is a huge year, and it's almost like what we came into last year saying about Corey LaJoie, where it was go prove your worth, go impress some people, go turn some heads. Because there's, again, no reason this team can't hang around the top 20 in points. They have speed, they have great equipment, and Justin Haley has talent, and he's a damn good plate track driver. So, yeah, this is almost like a tryout year. Maybe not for this year, but in the next couple years. But this is where you, to steal a phrase from a former driver, start stacking pennies. So.
Ooh,